Welcome to Deadly Departed. The do's, don'ts, and dangers of afterlife communication. This show discusses all aspects of afterlife communication, grief and grieving, the paranormal, and of course, parapsychology. There's real stories, scientific discussion, and most of all, real learning from paranormal experts and researchers. Here's your host, author of Deadly Departed, renowned evidential medium and spirit interventionist, Jock Brokus.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, or good evening, wherever you are in the world, as I know that many people throughout the world have been reading Deadly Departed, and for that I am truly grateful. So there's a couple of announcements, very quick announcements that I want to make regarding things that's coming up. And also a question of why I wrote a book like that. So the basic formula for writing the book for so long ago came through different experiences and different cases and things that I was involved in, and there was one reason and one reason only behind that book, and it wasn't to terrify people, and it wasn't to make people think that they're on the wrong track or anything like that, but it was to bring awareness. Remember, I spoke about awareness in action. It was to bring awareness to the reality that there is a dark side to life, and there is also a dark side to the afterlife, and to be able to empower the individual. And whilst the book can sometimes be a little bit scary, it's also to be able to empower you, because through awareness, the first, like I said before in previous lessons, that the way to change anything in life is through awareness. And when we become more aware of something, it is the first stage that we have to be able to change. It's like I said, we have an awareness of being overweight, you're going to change. If I have an awareness of feeling thirsty, then I'm going to want to have a drink. So awareness is the first stage to changing anything in life. And so the premise behind the book, now taking into consideration that this book has had so many rewrites, there's been so much research gone into the book. It is not just a case of I know everything out there is to know. That's not true. Like you and like every other medium out there, I'm still developing, but I perhaps look at things in a different light, in a different way, in a different fashion. So the reason, and the only reason I wanted to write the book, was to help developing mediums, and to help professional mediums, and to help parapsychologists, and to help medical professionals to understand the possibilities. And it's not a book that's there as a story, and it's not a book that's full of love and light and circles. It's a very hard-hitting book, and that's exactly what I wanted. It's not going to be everybody's cup of tea, I understand that. But what I hope it will be is a reference point for education, a reference point for people who are developing, families who might be under some kind of paranormal subjugation, doctors, as you see, that love the book, that are using it for understanding perhaps a afterlife or spiritual solution to a problem that may or may not require a medical intervention. And for mediums to understand that there's a darker element to the spirit world, and to be able to, through that knowledge, through that wisdom, to be able to develop their path better. And so with that in mind, the podcast that I had regarding grief, I also think the book is also directed to people who are grieving, because some people who are grieving can be lulled into a false sense of security. So with that in mind, what I'm going to do, which is completely different, is obviously we're going to have a webinar coming up where you guys in the readers group and other invited individuals will be able to come on to a live webinar with me, and we'll be able to chat and talk and ask questions, etc., etc. The other thing that I'm going to do is, I had a podcast that I kind of let slip for a while, podcast lessons called Signs of Spirit, and I am redeveloping that into the Deadly Departed podcast, where I will talk and I will give my perception or my belief in certain things and certain elements of the afterlife and mediumship, but I will also include serious talks on parapsychology for paranormal people, paranormal investigation teams, etc., or paranormal investigators who are interested and want to discuss it. It doesn't mean that I know everything. I certainly don't, but it's just going to be open discussion. But the other thing that I'm going to be doing, which I think is really unique and which will be awesome for everybody here, is give you readers a voice as well, because in reality, when mediums or people that are out there that write books, or they bring in a lot of well-known people to support them, and that's kind of standard practice, and they bring in a lot of experts in their fields to help with researching and to discuss things, and again, a lot of that stuff is also done for marketing reasons. So what I want to do is to get you, the listeners, involved. So there's going to be times fairly regularly. I haven't decided on how frequent this new podcast is going to be, but I'll be sending some information soon. You'll be able to sign up for it. I want to bring on for discussion the readers, you readers. I want to talk to you and find out what you hear about what you like about the book, what you didn't like about the book, what's worrying about you in your development, what's worrying about you about the afterlife, or amazing stories of connections that you've had, or amazing stories of your paranormal experiences. And this is giving you a voice and allowing you to come on and talk about things rather than just well-known experts in the field or well-known, and I don't really believe any of us, there's any experts. We're all researchers. I don't think in the afterlife that we have mediumship experts, afterlife experts. We're all researchers. We're all on our own paths. We're all on different paths. But I definitely want to hear from the readers, and so there's going to be an opportunity where you will be able to come on with me and have a discussion about paranormal events, paranormal experiences, where we'll be able to talk about maybe what you're hoping to achieve, what you in your development, if you're a developing medium, or if you're someone who has experienced grief in a different way, or you're a member of a paranormal team, then we're just going to talk about it and discuss all these aspects so that we can share knowledge with everyone, and so that we can learn together. Because at the end of the day, I'm still learning, you're still learning, we're all still learning. We never ever stop developing, and that's kind of what I want to do moving forward. Is to, it's great being in magazines, it's great having interviews, etc., but I want to get the readers of Deadly Departed more involved and give you a chance to voice and to discuss and to open up and learn. And I know I'm going to learn a lot from you guys, and hopefully you'll learn a bit from me, and I will bring in, other people with different experiences and experts, but there's going to be a great balance between both, and I'm really looking forward to it. So once again, thank you very much for buying the book. The book is written to help, to educate, and to make people think, and to empower you, to also empower you. It's not written in order to lecture. It's there for research. It's actually a research book. It's a book that's been developed in such a way that can be referenced for many, many years to come. And as I said, it's a living book. It will constantly be updated. It will constantly have a lot more and more going into it, and it will continually redevelop. And I'm excited about that. But there you go. You guys are going to get a chance. You're going to have a reader's voice, and I'm looking forward to it. And there'll be more information about that coming up soon. And again, thank you so much for buying Deadly Departed.
You've been listening to Deadly Departed with renowned evidential medium and author Jock Brokus. If you like what you've heard, make sure to pick up a copy of the Deadly Departed book. Don't forget to share the episodes and send in your questions to us about anything paranormal and the afterlife. Tune in next time to Deadly Departed, the do's, don'ts, and dangers of afterlife communication.